Oh, the joys of YouTube. I just finished recording a video for you on the 7 things that I always carry with me when I go out shooting and promptly forgot to switch on the audio. So here I am doing it again. It's going to be shorter, sweeter, faster, but you'll never know because you never saw the first one. Okay, I'm Peter Fritz and I've been taking photos for about 41 years actually. I started when I was 12, I'm 53, and I was first published when I was 16 in my favourite motorbike magazine. 2 years later, I was offered a full-time gig with the stable of magazines, of which that dirt bike magazine was a part. I think there are about 10, 12 magazines, a few car ones, a couple of motorbike ones, that sort of stuff. But what followed was 7 or 8 years of unbelievable fun, photographing everything from Grand Prix stars to Lamborghinis, Porsches, Ferraris, all this sort of stuff. Actually, no. Yes, Ferrari, F40 Ferrari. There's a Ferrari for you. So had a bundle of fun. But over the years, I have suffered gas like everybody else. And I'm not talking the middle-aged, fat, sort of face like a bucket of offcuts from a Jewish ritual kind of gas, although I do have that too, but gear acquisition syndrome. We all suffer from it. And I'm certainly guilty of that myself. But over the last few decades, though, I've been able to hone what it is that I always carry with me. And it's still evolving and it will probably continue to evolve. But I've kind of reached equilibrium now where I really think that as an outdoor photographer, these 7 things can really help you. So let's go through them really quick. Starting off with, I think this is one of the must-haves, and that is whatever tools it is that you need to adjust something, remove something, add something, fix something, cut something, pry something loose, whatever it is, whatever that something is that you need to do, you need at least a couple of tools with you that are practical, strong, lightweight, and reliable so that you can do all of those somethings. And I've collected probably 10 different Leatherman tools over the years. I've always got one with me wherever I go. This is the, what's this one? This is the Wingman, and this one sits in my studio and is always been used virtually every day to cut stuff, pry stuff. I mean, because I've got an L bracket on my R5, which I'm filming with at the moment, that goes around the battery compartment. I can't get my fat stubby fingers in there to actually pry that open and remove the battery, so I always use this. Not the knife, I use the flathead screwdriver part of it to do that. So typically this will sit open like that on my desk all the time. But as you can see, compared to these 2 little things, this thing is rather chunky. And saving weight is, of course, every outdoor photographer's most important priority after the gear they choose. So I chose a tiny little Leatherman called the Squirt, and I absolutely love this thing. It is beautifully made, like all the Leatherman tools. It has the all-important pliers in it, but of course it always has. It also has the other things that you need. If I can get my fat fingers to open it, a nice sharp knife. Let me close this up so I don't injure myself. A nice sharp knife. You never know when you might need to do your nails. You know, that's important. Flathead screwdriver. But on the back here, I love these little ones. We've got a teeny tiny little screwdriver there. Nice strong little thing for prying things open as well. We've got a nice flathead screwdriver there. And importantly, a good pair of little scissors. So this is a wonderful little tool. Leatherman Squirt. The other one is a couple of Allen keys. And this is actually the Peak Design Allen key that comes with their fabulous travel tripod. I've got the carbon version and I absolutely love it. And this actually sits in a little holder down one of the legs of the tripod. I got the Small Rig tool, which has a bunch of Allen keys on it, but I don't like it. So I've narrowed it down to this nice, simple little solution. And I love it. And I use it for a number of different things. So tools, very important. Next thing is if you're going out after dark or before dawn, you need a decent torch. And a head torch is usually the best solution for obvious reasons. You can light the way as you're walking, carrying your gear. You don't have to hold it in your hand. You can use it as you're packing your gear away and pulling stuff out of your camera bag. And very important that you get one that has adjustable tilt on it so that you can point it down to the ground when you're doing stuff on the ground or in your bag. And then you can rotate it back up and point in front of you as you're walking. This one is a Petzl. It's called the Tactica Plus. I love it because it is very bright. It also has a red lens setting on it, which is great at night because when you're operating in the dark, your eyes adjust to the dark, and the last thing you need is a sudden flood of bright light because then Apart from the fact that it's a shock to the system, when you turn it off, your eyes are in total darkness again and you can't see for a little while, at least for a few seconds. But the red light allows you to see what you need to see immediately in front of you without blinding you. Equally important, I think, and I discovered this recently, is to have a decent hand torch as well, because sometimes you want to be able to shine around and you don't want to have to use your head like a lighthouse beacon. You want to just be able to shine your torch around and look in stuff and, you know, make sure there's not a bitey creature about to come out of that hollow tree stump at you. So like anything I buy, I did a ton of research and settled on this fabulous little Olight Baton 3. Now, this is the wireless charger that it comes with. And I love this little charger because I think you can charge your torch 3 to 5 times. Does it say here? Oh, here we go. Fully charge the Baton 3 3.7 times. There you go, 3 to 5, 3.7, that's close enough. And it sits in here magnetically. I love things that are magnetic. We'll get to another one of those in a minute. But it is a beautiful little torch and the case is nice. Charges through USB-C. I've got a USB-C to USB-A cable in my car all the time. So this stays in the car and I can always charge up my torch when I'm out if I need to. But look at it. Look how cute it is. It's so beautiful. And it's bright too. And it's got a very strong clip on it. This clip is great. But let me just show it to you here. Look how cute that little thing is. It is so diminutive. It is a gorgeous little thing. Made out of what I presume is aircraft grade aluminium, because even $2 torches are made out of that. But let's see, that's the standard setting. Let's see if I can get that in focus. All right, so that's the, let me get that in front of the lens. So that's the standard brightness. And you can see it cycle through the 3 different brightness levels. Now I know demonstrating a torch on a video is absolutely pointless, especially just pointing it out to the camera. That proves nothing, but trust me, this torch is bright. I'm not talking big LED lenser or tactical torch bright where you can shine some, you know, on a tree a kilometer away. But for scurrying around the mountains, rivers and lakes and stuff, well and truly more than enough. Beautifully made. I expect to have that for a long time. And this actually brings up another thing too, which I wanted to mention is when you buy stuff, always try and buy good stuff because ultimately you save money and it makes your life more pleasant. If you buy good quality stuff, you generally only have to buy it once every 5, 10, maybe even 20 years, rather than buying crap over and over each year. When you buy cheap, you buy twice or 3 times or 5 times. When you buy quality, you buy it once, you use it for a long time, and because it's high quality, you get to enjoy the use of it. So it's a win all round. Okay, next. Okay, this one's not so sexy, but very important, is a decent blower. I've got a nice little one here, which is a bit like a kid's toy. It's supposed to bounce up and sit up vertically, but it doesn't. Anyway, that's a very important thing. Get yourself a decent little blower because you don't want to be wiping crap off your lens when you can blow it off. Always try and blow it off first, and then whatever doesn't come off, wipe it off with a good lens cloth, maybe some of those Carl Zeiss wet wipes or lens spray and a lint-free cloth. But either way, blow first, wipe second. That sounds rude. All right, let's get onto this thing. If you're going out to backcountry, mountains, deserts, rivers, whatever, where you are out of cell phone reach, you want to have something that allows you to communicate with people and send for emergency backup if something goes drastically wrong. I settled on the little Garmin InReach Mini. I absolutely love it. It is super compact. It is very sturdy, very robust. I like the fact that it's orange. It doesn't really matter. But look how small it is, and it's really well made. Very, very solid, very hard to break. I love this because with this, you can get weather reports, you can send SMSs to people, you can communicate back and forth with emergency services if you need it, and that brings me to the SOS function, the EPIRB function on it. So the SOS button here, once pressed properly, and you've got to press it for a little while, and then you've also got a period where you can disable it if you need to, if you press it accidentally. But once that is pressed properly, you can rest knowing that the Iridium network has sent a signal to the Global Emergency Services Response Team. I've forgotten what they're called. I'll put it in the description below if I can find out. But they will be sending choppers, Hercules, aircraft carriers, whatever is required to come and get you, and they will know exactly where you are because this will transmit a position anywhere on the globe, because this uses the Iridium network, which is a fantastic global network. They will see on a map exactly where you are, and from that point on, they will also be able to see if you move, where you are moving to. But of course, you know, if you've broken your neck, you're not going to be going anywhere. Seriously, if you're going out in the back country, you need something like this. You don't want, it's like insurance, you know. Insurance is a waste of money right up until the point you need it. And there are countless stories, hundreds and hundreds of people whose lives were saved because of something like this. So if you're going out to back country, desert, lakes, mountains, whatever, where you don't have cell phone service, you need something like that. Okay, next, I reckon gloves. I'm a recent convert of these, mainly because I started shooting sunrise stuff or pre-dawn stuff, and I haven't done a lot of that. I tend to be a sunset kind of person. But once I started shooting dawn stuff, freezing my nuts off and my fingers, I realized I needed good gloves. And everybody raves about these Valorettes, mainly because, well, they're well made, they're warm, two very important things, but mainly because of these fabulous fingers which fold back, which allow you to operate your camera's controls without taking your gloves off. So these are fantastic. And I still sometimes forget that I've got them. But if you want to see the video where I froze my nuts and fingers off that prompted me to finally buy these, then just have a look up here. That was a fantastically unpleasant morning, made all the more unpleasant by the fact that my fingers got to a point where they no longer worked. But the photos were worth it in the end. So, but anyway, once I did that video, I realized I definitely need gloves, and these Valorettes, everybody swears by them. I swear by them now. Little zips on the top, by the way, I think for putting in hand warmers or maybe an SD card or a condom. I don't know, it depends on what your lifestyle is. Finally, last one. Now this one isn't a must have, but I reckon it's close. And that is this fabulous little gadget. You probably, well you may have, already seen me do a review on this little Insta360 Go 2. It is a teeny tiny little 1440p waterproof, incredibly well stabilized action camera that is as simple to use as pressing the front of it, and it records, pressing it again to stop recording. It comes with a bunch of fantastic accessories. The one I use the most is the pivot stand. It attaches to all of its accessories magnetically, which I love. This little pivot stand allows you to stick it all sorts of places and, you know, swivel around and film stuff. But the thing that really gets me about this is just how easy it is to use. With only one button, it's kind of hard to go wrong. Now, granted, it comes with this little unit, which is its charging case, and its controller for setting all the different options that you have with it, because it does a bunch of different stuff: hyperlapse, time lapse, HDR, pro video with super amazing stabilization. It's got so many features. You need to watch the video. If you want a fantastic little action camera that does pretty much everything and has image quality to rival the GoPro Hero 9, but is super small, super easy to use, and easy to carry with you everywhere, you've got to get yourself one of these. I absolutely love this thing. Now, the reason why I put this on the list is because obviously I shoot video a lot when I go out. Every single time I go out with this thing, I use it. Well, let me put it this way. I bring this with me every time, and I use it every time. It is just so easy to just pull it out and use. And as you'll see if you watch the video, the accessories it comes with makes it super easy to use it for first-person video in all sorts of situations. But even if you're not filming videos for YouTube, I think having a good quality, well-stabilized, this is the main thing, well-stabilized wide lens video camera that can attach to virtually anything in a second is really, really valuable, because when you go out location scouting or shooting, it's so easy to miss stuff because the reticular activating stem and the base of the neck filters out stuff that you think you're not interested in. But then if you go back and look at some video of the area, and with the stabilization of this, you can get really good quality footage of the area that you're in. You can pick up stuff and go, oh, I should have photographed that. I should have photographed that. So it's useful for that, but it's also just nice to be able to document some of your adventures. And when it's such an easy device to use, now, you know, yes, you could use your phone, but the trouble is with your phone's bloody expensive. Your phone is pretty easy to break, especially the screen. And it's not easy to attach to stuff because it's, you know, a big rectangle. Whereas this tiny little thing, it's so cute and so diminutive, and it's magnetic, and its accessories allow you to stick it in all sorts of wonderful places that it's just super easy to use. Anyway, that's it. They are the 7 things that I always take with me when I go out shooting, out in the bush, out in the desert, wherever it is that I'm shooting. And hopefully some of these were useful to you too. Anyway, see you next week. I hope I recorded the audio this time. Whew, yes, see ya. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like. And if you're not subscribed and you've watched my videos for a while, I'd certainly welcome you.